Hi, my name is Ashley Carell. I did my constellation presentation on finding Orion. We'll go ahead and get started. So the best time to see Orion is when it is clearly visible in the night sky from November to February. As you can see pictured here in the bottom left-hand corner, Orion was visibly seen February 2nd at 10 p.m. So the easiest way to find Orion is to go outside in the evening and look in the southwest sky if you are in the northern hemisphere, or the northwestern sky if you are in the southern hemisphere. You are going to be looking for the three brightest stars close together in an almost straight line. These three stars represent Orion's belt, as you can see circled. And so the two bright stars to the north are his shoulders, and the two bright stars to the south are his feet. So there is Orion pictured. Moving on, we are going to be talking about the four brightest stars found within the Orion constellation. So the first one in the top left-hand corner is Betelgeuse. The Bayer name for Betelgeuse is Beta Orionis. The distance is 624 light years, with the spectral type being M2 Lab. The evolutionary stage is the red supergiant at plus 21.91 kilometers per second. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have SAFE, which the Bayer name for SAFE is Kappa Orionis. The distance for SAFE is 650 light years. The spectral type is B0.5 LA. The evolutionary stage is bright supergiant at plus 20.5 kilometers per second. In the top right-hand corner, we have Bellatrix. The Bayer name for Bellatrix is Gamma Orionis. The distance is 245 light years, with the spectral type being B2. The evolutionary stage is a bluish-white giant at plus 18.2 kilometers per second. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have Rigel. The Bayer name for Rigel is Alpha Orionis, with the distance being 772 light years. The spectral type is B8 Lab, and the evolutionary stage is blue supergiant at plus 17.4 kilometers per second. So these were the four brightest stars that I found within the Orion constellation. As you can see, they're pretty visible there on the corners. So moving on, we're going to be looking at the four deep space objects that I found for Orion. So in the top left-hand area, we have IC434. In the bottom left-hand area, we have Orion Nebula. In the top right-hand area, we have circled Angelfish Nebula. And in the bottom right-hand area, we have Messier 43. So these were four of the deep space objects that I found for the Orion constellation. So moving on to the mythological story of Orion, there were many different stories that I had read that I found interesting, this one being my favorite. So getting started on that, the ancient Greeks saw in the nighttime sky the figure of the great hunter Orion from the Greek myth, which bears his name, Orion. There are many different stories about Orion. Orion was the son of a poor shepherd called Hyrieus. Hyrieus had some guests stop by, and he then killed the only animal he had, which was an ox. Hyrieus did not know his guests were gods at the time. They wanted to grant Hyrieus a wish, and his biggest desire was to have a child. So the gods then instructed him on how to make this happen. So he did. He followed the instructions, and 9 months later, a boy was born. The boy was very strong and a very good hunter as well. He was hired by a king to kill all the beasts that were terrifying the inhabitants of an island. Orion volunteered to kill all the wild animals on Earth. The mother of all the animals was not pleased with this, so she then set a giant scorpion on Orion, who wasn't strong enough at the time to fight it, and was stung to death. Orion was then placed in the sky so that he is being chased forever for not respecting animals and the environment. And that is the mythological story that I found very interesting about Orion. And there are my references. Thank you.